morning, you motherfucking sunshines. Well, shit. Sorry for the absence. Last couple months, just been, not motivated to make videos whatsoever. Goddamn, I've been working a lot, so, trying to save up that food money for the CDT next year. But I have been coming out here for sanity purposes every once in a while, doing some day hikes with my boy Rpwt Waggletails, and that's exactly what I did last night. Just get my tent for the night and clear my fucking head out here in Mother Nature. But I did hit y'all up on Instagram the other day and see if you had any more questions for me. If you guys enjoy these Q&A videos, just I'll keep doing them. Just keep firing the questions at me because I don't have any plans for long distance hiking or even long section hiking this year. So I'm basically just working until I can get on the fucking CDT next year. So we can do these videos as often as you fucking want to. But let's fire away with the questions, mine. First question is, are you bored without through hiking? Well, I wouldn't say I'm bored necessarily. I mean, there are obviously those days when I'm bored, but I mean, I live on the fucking Appalachian Trail. We're working and living at mountain crossings at Neal Gap. I'm literally on the trail where I live, so I literally walk outside and I'm in the fucking woods. So y'all know I love photography. I've been keeping myself busy with that. I can go on these day hikes, come out in the tent with Roscoe for a night whenever I fucking want to, and grab some photographs. That's been keeping me busy, and obviously work. I will say I do miss fucking through hiking. What the fuck you doing, man? Calm the fuck down, shit. I do miss through hiking, obviously. Just being out for an extended period of time, having a goal from the southern terminus to the northern terminus and just striving for that goal, and it's day in and day out. I miss that. I miss the fucking freedom of doing it for a long period of time. But I know in the back of my head that eventually it's going to happen again, so that's what I have to keep my focus on, and I'll get back out there eventually. Next question is, when is a good time to drive down and give you a gift? Depends on what that gift is, man. I generally work at mountain crossings Tuesday or Friday through Monday. So if you're in the area, you want to come by and say hello, I'm working in there. If I'm not there, then I'm mostly going to be around there or on the trail somewhere close by, so you can find me, man. Next question is, do you use your trekking poles? I get that question quite often, actually. If you guys watched my vlog last year, most of those walking by the camera shots, you see me holding both of my trekking poles in one hand, just walking with them rather than actually using them. Well, the reason for that is, I use these as a fucking tool. By the way, these are brand new set I just got. Same Bleckies, cork handles. But anyway, these are my tools for hiking, just like a cooking pot would be or a water filter. I use the right tool for the job. So if I'm on flat fucking terrain, and a lot of times I'm filming those walking by shots, it's on easy terrain because it's easier for me to set up those shots. I'm not using my trekking poles as you would think. I'm just carrying those bitches, and I do that for flat terrain. I'm just holding them fucking things. Sometimes I get bored and I'll twirl them around there and shit. Sometimes you need to do something with your arms. In that case, I'll do it just for the hell of it. Or you can be like Feathers and just like draw random shit in the fucking dirt. She does this little lasso thing. You always know you're hiking behind Feathers because there's this little fucking curly cue thing. She just drags her poles behind her. Anyway, I don't really do that shit. I just like holding my poles and walking with them. If I don't need to use them, then I don't use them. Generally, if I'm going downhill on steep terrain, that's when I use them to save my joints, or uphill if my legs are shot for the day, I'll use them to help me go uphill. But other than that, I'm just carrying them bitches. This question is, what lens are you using? Well, in fact, I just got this brand new lens here. It's the same lens I used last year on the PCT. It's a 16-35 Zeiss by Sony. Nice wide angle lens. Yeah, it's the same exact lens I vlogged with last year. It's just I lost that one in Stevens Pass in a snowbank, so I was finally able to save up some enough money to get a brand new one. So most likely that's the lens I will be carrying on the CDT next year. Oh, if you guys follow me on Instagram, all those like portraits, I do have other lenses. The portraits I take of myself for Instagram and shit like that, I have an 85mm 1.8 in my bag, and that's great for portrait photography and close-up shots and shit like that. I'm debating on carrying another lens on the CDT next year. I haven't decided, but the 16-35, which you see right now, is the one I use 99% of the time. Next question is, still planning on doing the CDT in 2021, or did COVID delay that? Hasn't delayed it quite yet. My hours did get shot at mountain crossings a little bit, but I'm still working, and I'm still able to save up some money. So as of right now, my goal is to get out there fucking next year. As long as I have the cash, I will be on the CDT next year. Next question is, favorite hiking shirt and favorite instant coffee? Well, hiking shirt, well, first of all, instant coffee, if you guys follow me for any period of time, you know Starbucks is my favorite instant coffee. Taster's Choice is fucking cat litter. Folgers is tolerable, but it's still shit. Starbucks are my coffee of choice on trail. Favorite hiking shirt? Well, this one I have on. Actually, I've been hiking with this year. Just on the AT around here. I've had this shirt for like 10 fucking years. It's like a Walmart shirt. Button up, it breathes real nice. I might wear this actually in the CDT, in the later half of the CDT. Starting out in New Mexico, I'll just get another long sleeve one just because the desert and shit like that. I want to protect my arms and my ink and shit like that. But a shirt's a fucking shirt, quite honestly. That shirt you guys saw me wear last year on the PCT from like Edna, California on. I bought that shirt at a fucking thrift store in California for $5 fucking and wore it the majority of the fucking trail, at least half the fucking trail. So a shirt's a goddamn shirt. All right, next question is, do you want a hiking partner for a bit? I mean, depends how long a bit is in your fucking mind. I've hiked with people. I mean, last year, case in point, I hiked with Tortuga through the Sierras, and then I hiked with Feathers through Oregon, and then joined up with Beats and Rpwt and Snazzy in Washington. So I can hike with people. I'd prefer not to, but for safety purposes, I will definitely hike with somebody. But for enjoyment purposes, that's my therapy time, man. What's your current setup? When are you going to put out some more YouTube videos? Well, you're watching one right now, motherfucker. My current setup is basically what you see right here. I will do the gear video before I hit the CDT for sure, but as of right now, I have 99% of my gear. The only gear I need to buy still and I want to buy is a new fucking camera, because this is one I picked up on Craigslist when I got the main to replace my other Sony. It's the previous year model A7 II, but the one I carried last year, the A7 III, has the settings that I need on it, and it has slow-mo and zoom, and the battery's much better on that one. If I hauled this thing, I'd have to carry like 7-8 fucking batteries on me, and I don't want to do that. But as far as the backpacking gear goes, all this shit you see here is ready to go for the CDT. Oh, now that you have had the duplex and the Durgo, what is your go-to tent? I mean, I love both tents, quite honestly. I wish you could combine the two, and what I mean by that is, this Durgo, if the way the Durgo is designed, it's like a pyramid design, right? So you're losing headroom on both sides, which I miss about having the duplex. The duplex, you had headroom, more headroom. Unfortunately, the duplex wasn't as durable as this one. Mine got shredded by Virginia on the AT. Now Beats, he's used the camo version of the duplex the last 2 years, and his has held up a little bit better. But I wish you could combine the headroom of the duplex with the durability of the Durgo. That would be my perfect tent. But I'll be rocking this one on the CDT, at least starting out next year. What has been the biggest surprise while at mountain crossings? Well, I guess it's not a surprise. Once COVID hit, I mean, I was bracing myself for the April bubble to come through. And that's about the time that COVID hit. And so it was just basically somebody flipped the light switch on the hikers. There was no hikers coming through mountain crossings. I would see maybe 1 or 2 a day. Now I'm getting like section hikers out and flip-floppers and shit like that coming through. And then we'll get the southbounders coming through in like October and shit. But when I first got there, there was just no hikers. It was like dead quiet. It was scary at times. But and that's why I came to work here. I wanted to be around hikers and help them out and give them advice on, you know, hiking this goddamn trail. So that was the biggest, not necessarily surprise, but, you know, it kind of sucked. Are you enjoying mountain crossings? Yeah, I am enjoying mountain crossings. It's chill. It's a lot better than cooking for a living, I'll tell you that. That shit about killed me. So it's a lot more laid back, and I get to be around backpacking gear and hikers. It's awesome. Does Roscoe go to work with you? No, Roscoe's too hyper around people. He gets ape shit, so he just stays in my apartment while I'm at work. I live right next door above the hostel, so he's right next door. I can come see him on my lunch breaks and shit. All right, when are you doing the CDT? So next year, the plan as of right now, I mean, I don't know, to be honest with you, but what I'm thinking about is probably around late April. You can never predict the snowfall. Couldn't predict it last year, and not gonna be able to predict it for next year. So I'm thinking about late April-ish, probably about the same time I started the PCT, which was April 18th, and we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the time frame I got in mind. Will you ever consider bike packing? Not really. You know, when I lived in Montana, I got early into mountain biking, but the whole bike packing thing hasn't appealed to me at all. I just like walking. You know, being on a bike is, you know, you're limited to trails that you can do and road riding. I just like hiking trails, man. What do you think the average through hike costs? That's so generalized. It's different for everybody. You know, and especially for me doing YouTube, you know, people hook me up with resupplies and shit, and that's helped me out tremendously. So I'm not the guy to ask about that. They say generally it costs about $1,000 a month. You can do it for way more or way less. It really all depends on how well your gear is holding up. If you have to replace major gear like your tent or your pack and shit like that, obviously the cost is going to go up. And then how well you want to live in town. If you take double zeros and you love eating out, your fucking bill is going to go sky high through the roof, especially on the PCT. What's your favorite time of year to hike and camp? The fall, 100%. I love the fall. It's my favorite time of year. Always has been. Just the color changing, the temperature, the colors, everything. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, the fall is where it's at for me. Biggest challenge you think you'll have on the CDT? You know, the challenge being having done 2 through hikes now. I know what my body is capable of physically, and I know what my mind is capable of. So it's those mental battles. It's always a crapshoot on whether or not you're going to break down mentally. Now, physically, the only thing that's an issue for me is my ankle. As you guys saw it last year, my ankle was fucked up. I had to take triple zeros. When I got into Cascade locks, I couldn't put pressure on the fucking thing, even without a pack on. So my ankle is always one of those factors that I just don't know if it's going to hold up or not. Mentally, I know I can break through barriers. I've done it the last 2 years, but you know, CDT is going to be a whole new other animal, so it's going to have a whole new set of challenges for me, and it's just a matter of not if my mind can break through those barriers or not. It's a mental game when you're on these long fucking trails, 100%. How many thru hikers did you see using a hammock on the PCT after the desert? I don't think I remember seeing any hammockers before or after. I don't think I saw a single hammocker on the PCT. Just off the top of my head, I don't remember seeing any of them. Everybody had tents. A lot of cowboy camping or tents. I didn't see any hammocks out there. 3 hot, sweaty, rainy days in the Smokies. Feet basically soaking in brine water. How do you deal with that? Welcome to the Appalachian Trail, motherfucker. You're going to get wet. I don't care if you're carrying 12 pair of socks. Your feet are going to get wet. It's just something you deal with. The only piece of advice I can give you on the ATU is, as far as that goes, is drying your feet out as best you can before you go into your tent at night. As soon as you get to camp, get in your tent, get all the dry clothes you have on, take off your shoes and socks, and let your feet air dry. Don't get in your fucking sleeping bag until your feet are as dry as possible. I clean my feet as much as humanly possible on the trail. That's the lay of the land, man. It gets fucking wet as shit on this fucking trail. Not much you can do about it. How do you pack your tent when it's wet? Well, again, with the Appalachian Trail, your tent's going to be wet most likely every fucking morning, and even if it's not raining, it's going to be wet from condensation. So if you don't have one of these non-freestanding tents, the Cuban fiber deals, if you have like a body and a fly of your tent, if your fly did its job, your body, your tent should be dry. Take your fly and put it on the outside of your pack somewhere, and then put your body of your tent inside your pack if it's dry. Don't put your wet fly in with your body of your tent, because now your body of your tent's wet when it could have been dry when you show up to camp that next day. You know, when this thing has condensation in the morning, it's damp too. It can shake off most of the water, but if it's still damp, I just put it on the outside of my pack. Hopefully I get some sunshine during the day and I lay it out in the sun and let it dry. But don't put a wet tent inside your pack. There's a reason why you keep all your sleeping shit dry, is because if it's getting down in temperature and that shit's wet now, you're fucked at night. So any wet gear, socks, you know, whatever, hang them on the outside of your pack until you can dry them out. Are you pretty set on your gear for the CDT next year? Yep, probably. I mean, I'm 99% set as far as gear. I got a new pack. I got a new Roscoe's laying on it right now, but I got my new quilt, which is the Enlightened Equipment 20 Degree Enigma. These are the Ultra Lone Pink 4.5s I've been rocking the last couple of months. I ordered a new iPad this morning, so I have something to edit on, because my one last year got broken. I needed a new plate for my tripod. What else did I order? That's basically it. The only piece of gear that I really want to buy, and that's cost the most out of anything, is a new fucking camera. So whether or not I have the budget for that, we'll see. I have this backup at least I can use if I have to, but yeah, everything else is pretty much set to go. Just that camera I need to get. What's your next move? Another hike or staying put with Roscoe? Well, this year, I don't have anything planned for this year, quite honestly. I'm going to get out for these day hikes and just work my ass off and save as much money as possible. I had planned on going to trail days this year, but that got canceled due to COVID. That was the only thing I had in the works for this year. So now my main priority, my mindset is on the CDT for next year, and that is the only thing I fucking care about. I will get out of here for sanity purposes in my tent and do some day hikes to Brosco. That is about it. So the main goal is to get out on fucking trail for 6 months again next year. What are your greatest joys on and off the trail? Well, my greatest joy off the trail is spending time with my hound dog, 100%. That was the main reason I wanted to take this year off, to spend the year with Roscoe, and it's been everything that I had hoped. On trail, it's the absolute freedom of not having to answer to a goddamn person but your fucking self. So, yep. How's life? Next hiking plans? Post-trail depression from the PCT. Well, I pretty much answered the first two. Post-trail depression from the PCT. Yeah, it's hit me, and it's still here. I mean, I get depressed quite often. I have a history of depression. I was diagnosed with clinical depression, alcohol dependency years ago. And I still get that from time to time, for sure. Even when I'm on trail, I still get depressed sometimes. Just you have those days. At least I've learned to deal with that over the years, especially my alcoholism. I know my triggers and all that shit. And if I'm getting stressed out, if I'm getting depressed, that means it's time to pack up my fucking gear and go take a walk through the goddamn woods. So the post-trail depression never goes away. At least it hasn't for me the last 2 years. Until I get back on a trail, I'm going to be wishing I was back on trail. This is what it is. It ruins you, man. For any of you fuckers planning on doing a through hike, you can't really prepare for it, but just I'm telling you right now, you will get some form of post-trail depression when you get off these fucking long trails, because it changes your goddamn life. All right, fuckers, last question. What has been your favorite place that you've hiked so far? That is too goddamn hard. Quite honestly, I don't have a favorite. Nothing comes to mind. The main thing for me, and you know, my goal from the beginning is to do the Triple Crown, and obviously that's the goal I still have. But the longer I spend on these trails, the most important thing for me is just being out there. It doesn't matter where I am, quite honestly. Just being out on any fucking trail for 6 months at a time is where it's at for me. That is the most important thing for me. So yes, the ultimate goal is the Triple Crown, but after that, I could care less what trail I'm on, really. It's just being out in Mother Nature is the most important thing for my ass. And I need that for my happiness, I need that for my sanity, and I need that for my sobriety. So that's why I will continue to be in the woods some goddamn where every single year. Roscoe, you better not claw the fuck out of my new quilt, boy. That's going to be it for the questions, fuckers. Appreciate all the love and support you guys been showing me. I apologize for the lack of videos, but you know, it's just one of those things. I'm not quite motivated to get out and film hiking as of now. And these day hikes is kind of pointless in my opinion, but maybe I'll film some in the future. Keep firing the questions at me. I'll do as many of these Q&A videos as you'd like. I will do the gear video when that time comes, but give me some time, man, and let me just reset my mind and get my shit together. And I promise I'll be out there on the CDT next year delivering the content every fucking day. We'll holler at you fuckers next time.